So these doors are closed, but people will come through from the atrium, the main atrium there, and the reception desk into this space. Behind that hoarding is another part of this exhibition, but the main entrance is between these ribs and underneath the fantastic hanging plesiosaur, which is made by Paragon Creative. And into this area, this gallery, the Discovery Gallery, where the emphasis is on the fact that everything that you see in the galleries around you afterwards has been lovingly or carefully excavated by people after they've discovered it out in the wild. So there's lots of tactile interactivity, digging to discover fossil replicas which we've placed there, and try and identify them against the chart which will be on that wall. So this, although it looks familiar as the Earth, Adam, standing at my business partner, has been working with the curators here to work out what the Earth would have looked like in the Jurassic period. So all the landforms were very different. So what we think of as Yorkshire was actually much nearer the equator. The landforms of the plates move around and rock moves up and down, and the landforms in the sea change shape. So this is what the Earth would have looked like in the Jurassic period 150 million years ago or so, and Yorkshire is somewhere in the middle there, so completely unrecognisable, different place entirely. Will Watts, one of the paleontologists, told me an amazing fact the other day, which is that some of these fossils in the rock cycle went down below the Earth's surface as much as 2 kilometres before coming back up. It's incredible. And this gallery is called, its sort of nickname is Coral Seas, to represent the fact that in the late Jurassic period, Yorkshire was a shallow coral tropical sea area with shallow seas, coral, fishes, all the kind of things that you might associate with the kind of Indian Ocean today. And it's going to be full of fantastically colourful life, and then real fossils of the same things that you see in the images: fishes, sea urchins, corals. And then this beast of a fossil is an incredibly important ichthyosaur holotype, and he would be picking up an iPad and using an augmented reality window into a digital world here over the top of the fossilised skeleton remains. You'll be able to see the fully fleshed out creature with eyeballs and teeth and everything that's completely gone now, and putting colour back. So that was a really interesting use of augmented reality to bring fossilised remains back to life. Here in this corner will be the Collider case, which is a fantastic piece from the York Museum's Trust collection, which is a nodule that contains the unborn embryos of an ichthyosaur. So there's about 5 or 6 baby dragon babies still in Mummy's tummy when Mummy was killed, and they're just trapped there in time. It's an absolutely beautiful piece, but it's hard to interpret. It's hard to work out what's going on in that, even though it's undisputable about that's what it is. So the Collider case holographic system will be pointing at and highlighting the backbones of these tiny little baby ichthyosaurs which are in there. So we've got a real mix of different media, right? So we've got some very latest holographic stuff, we've got some sculpture, we've got graphic panels, we've got traditional lighting, we've obviously got object display. It's an object-led museum. In here is a sculpture of a squid. It's got a really spooky eye, and he's just grabbed one of these ammonites and taken a bite out of it. And in the case below, there are these ammonites that you find that have got a bite mark out of them, which paleontologists have identified as a squid beak mark. So that just to show, the kind of variation in the ecosystem, the bits that you can build back together. So that would have been a muddy flat like that background image there, and a 2-legged theropod walked over this, thankfully for us, in a straight line, because that's the object being assembled there. But from this side, so this is the optical system that allows us to put a holographic dinosaur into that space, appearing to be on the real object. He'll put his feet in the actual footprints as he walks across. But that's an amazing combination of object-led, so you've got this amazing trackway, but then with a layer of digital media over the top to bring it to life. So they found a vertebra which is definitely from a sauropod, like one of these big, huge thing's as big as a bus. But because there is only one part, even though they're sure it's that, they can't give it an exact genus taxonomic name. So until then, it's going to be named after the person who found it, which is called Alan. And then round the back of this case, we'll be able to take part in the virtual reality experience, which is going to be here. There'll be like an arena marked out on the floor. You put the headset on, you grab a controller, you go straight into the Jurassic world, and there's Alan. He's eating from a great big tree, and you pick a branch up off the ground and wave it at him, and he brings his huge head in right next to you, and it's amazing. So virtual reality there is being used to portray scale.